Yo, what is up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm covering air dribbles, not just off the wall but off the ground too, from beginner level all the way up to advanced. So firstly, the most important thing with any air dribble is the first touch, and so you want to learn the best way to set it up that you find the easiest and that is also suited to you. The first and most popular way is hitting the ball off the wall, breaking a tiny bit and then following the ball. But for new players, or well for me anyway, I found this too much when I was starting out, so I found another way, which was jumping off the wall as I hit the ball. This kept me underneath the ball ready for my first touches and ready to readjust my car. As you see on screen, this is me learning to air dribble a couple of years ago now, but pretty much to do this you want to follow the ball up the wall, hit the ball out towards the net so you can follow the ball to score, otherwise you'll be chasing the ball the wrong way. This method of air dribbling is also really good for longer air dribbles, for example cross maps. Okay, so this takes us into step 2. When you've jumped off the wall and you're chasing the ball, this is where you want the first touch, and preferably you don't want to be upside down, and you need to readjust your car to face your nose underneath the ball. This is where you need to bind an air roll button to your controller, or keyboard. Now, you can either use standard air roll which goes left and right on the same analog stick, I'll break this down later, or you can use air roll left and air roll right, which means it goes straight to the right and you have the whole analog stick to control it. But honestly, it's up to you. I use standard air roll for shots, but use air roll right for air dribbles and freestyling, etc. But when I was starting out, I used standard air roll because I found it easier to readjust left and right. But anyway, when you have jumped off the wall, it'll look like this. And then you want to readjust by air rolling to the left or to the right, depending on which side you are to the ball. And then you just want to get as many touches as you can, keeping underneath the ball. You can also try coming out of ball cam mid-air to see better. And also feather your boost. When you reach the ball and it's underneath, if you put on too much boost, you'll hit the ball too hard and then it'll leave you. So you want to make sure it's a soft first touch so you can follow it up. And don't start spinning straight away. Learning to use air roll is much more different to just air dribbling, but keep practicing getting as many touches as you can, getting used to the small readjustments of your car. Air dribbling takes time, and over time you'll just naturally get better at it. Now it is time for more advanced air dribbles. You've probably seen people flying across the map spinning the whole time. This is more advanced because it takes optimizing your air roll binds. So to give a quick run through, you want to learn how air roll works and how to adjust your car. So you want to firstly practice these drills. Remember, air roll goes straight to the left or straight to the right of your analog stick, and then you just readjust by making a small adjustment round the analog stick, but keep it to the side you're spinning. So don't go from the left of the analog stick all the way to the right if you want to keep it on the left side. Now this is why a lot of people have made the switch to binding air roll right and left to their binds, because it gives them much more motion as you get the whole analog stick to control where you're going, whereas the air roll bind just splits it to the left and to the right. But it's honestly what you're comfortable with. Then once you have learnt air dribble, you can start trying to use air roll, but it's difficult. It takes months to learn. Even after a year you may not have mastered it. But now, moving on to ground air dribbles. Now there are two methods to ground air dribbles. You can either pop the ball up off your car or jump up to catch the ball, but it's situational, and both of these are a little awkward, but I'll break them down a bit. So to pop it up, you need to hit double jump whilst holding your jump button to make sure you get the height but you also stay with the ball. And you want to make sure the ball is the furthest back of your car so you can get the most power. Now from the setup, you can either go straight up, getting as many touches as you can, or you can air roll, but it depends what you're comfortable with. And it's the same idea pretty much. You just want to get as many touches as you can when you're learning it, and over time you get used to it. Now personally, I think the second method is much easier, and it's just like jumping up and following the ball. So to do this, you want to use your first jump, hit the ball right underneath the nose of your car, and then use the second one to stay up with the ball. And then you can start boosting, or you can start air rolling, and you can keep control of the ball. These are definitely very awkward to pull off, but it just takes practice. So the next part of this tutorial is about flip resets. So obviously before you learn to flip reset, you want to learn to air dribble, which is why I'm moving on to it now. But pretty much when you learn this, you can either get a first touch and then readjust to get the flip, or you can just go straight into it. This is where setting up the air dribble is so important, because if you're touching the ball and then going for a reset, you need to get a good first touch to follow up the ball. But this method is easier because you can get the first touch, readjust when you're upside down, and then move your nose to go into the flip reset. Whereas if you use the other method where you break on the wall, you need to have good control with your air roll binds. And it's much more difficult for new players. But as you learn the first one over time, you'll be able to complete the second method, which is just getting the reset straight off the wall. Honestly, my biggest tips for learning the flip reset is remembering to be level with the ball. I normally put my nose up and then slowly down to catch the falling ball so I could get used to boosting and also get used to the timing. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I really hope this helped you. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe. Also, let me know any feedback on my videos. Peace.